For the city, though, I think it's my mother. But I think it's a different level, and definitely something that you need to be able to think of. I was hesitant to sign up for the city, mainly because it says Wilson County, not the city. But, you know, okay, so I got over that part. But when, I was really surprised at how quickly and how easy it is to download on your phone.
Has it helped the city yet?
I think so. She was at our council meeting last Thursday, and we launched it. Some of our council members, I don't even, they won't even do email, but they put it on their phone because they like the push notification.
Well, you just cost them $300 a month. You got to put it on their phone.
No, so I think, I think you're on the right track. I think it helps. I think we can partner up and help, anytime we help the businesses. We just don't have the forum, or we do. Unless Tommy has a list and he wants to work with that. But
I mean, even if we put a business directory, you know, automotive mechanics, restaurants, insurance salesmen, realtors, you know, and just kind of like a bit, I mean, even if we did that just for a while. But I just don't want to like make it about FEDC and our agenda items.
That's what that was my recommendation, and that's why I brought it, was not to be I mean, it's for the EDC, but if we can push more business, to push more economic growth.
Work with the chamber maybe or something like that, and kind of let them.
Well, with that being said,
Yeah.
we have people also realize FEDC receives a certain amount, thousands of dollars per month.
To help.
What are you doing with it? So
We can show
maybe you need to be able to show them you're doing things from FEDC.
Yeah, we're getting.
I mean, like the sign grant deal, but I
What
mean,
legality of this
I have
church?
to
did Balance or the
legality
old
of-
Balance, whatever it is, farmer's market, did they ever put up their new sign?
They
We'll stay on
finished
task
half of
right
it,
here.
they're still waiting. They
Okay.
told me June, but,
Yeah, that's off
Okay.
subject.
Chris has a
Yeah,
comment,
that's right.
back on task.
I'd have to check the legality of your proposal or the thoughts
No.
about, so sponsoring the chamber, I don't, as a proper project, that would be authorized. I would check that.
Alright,
No, I'm not saying sponsor the chamber. I say we do it, but work with them to where they can feed into us like what businesses we can help put on there.
Oh, sure.
Now, I'm not talking, not sponsoring the chamber, but like this is,
Yeah.
this is our app. Unless Tommy wants to take on something new, which is fine with me. But the chamber has the list of businesses, so if they can get with Tommy and say, okay, I think these are some businesses we can advertise within Floresville, because the chamber has people outside of the city limits, but if we can just stick to the few, but if we stick to mainly the ones here, we can work together to identify.
Well, I move we table it and have Tommy look into the deal a little bit further.
Linda, I do think that we will come to some resolve to work with y'all in some way, form, or fashion. I think that the paper's, going out of the way, trying to work with people. I know this past Friday, my son was at a state track meet in Austin. Wilson County News sent a reporter up as well as a photographer. So, I see all the reason in the world that this is a good idea. We need to sort through it
Sure.
and put it together. You're not
Sure.
being thrown out under the bus.
Oh, no, I understand, and I'm open to sit down with you and,
Sure.
do some brainstorming on different ways to present it.
And also find out what we can legally do.
Sure.
One of the things that we've got to be, I hear Ben, one of the things that we've got to be careful of is defending the choices for businesses that can afford it. and
Well,
buy.
here's something to understand is that every business here is going to be listed in the app.
Yeah.
It's to what degree they're going to be listed. I mean, price-wise, this app is very affordable. So, they're,
Yeah, but
There's
I
different
think that
options
Scott's
that we
idea
can-
is a good one because, we need to partner with the chamber and do certain things to.
sure.
It would be a partnership with Tommy. It would be,
And they could just
Can't
tell
be a
us who their
partnership. Yeah.
business of the month is, send you a text, oh, it's Martha's Cafe or whoever, and, we go from there.
that's not a partnership, that's a recommendation,
Yes,
which makes it legal.
word it how it needs to be worded, but you
Yeah,
get
I
the
mean,
point.
in there you put on, you can make a whole section about properties for sale for it.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what I was gonna say is, a lot of this stuff can just mimic your, your Facebook or your website. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just another platform for people to see the EDC what you're capable of, what you're wanting to do, and so on and so forth, but.
And just for the board's information, because Wednesday, we'll have the first ad that Linda has worked with me on for commercial agents and owners to list their properties on the FEDC website.
See, and that's another thing that you'll
And so
be-
that we can get an inventory and have it online for anybody to look at that's interested in property in Floresville.
Perfect. Would someone like to put this in form of a motion so we can move on here? Thank you, Fred. Step up there.
I so moved up, we're going to table it, right?
Yes, sir.
I move that we table this item.
I second that.
Motion by Fred, a second by Scott. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item 10.
Thank you.
Linda, thank you very much. Discussion and possible action item, discussion and possible action regarding the funding for Chaz Paris study event supervisor funding for the Freedom Fest 2018 fireworks show, Saturday, June 30th at the event center. Has the floor is yours.
We have a
Oh, yeah, well, I put a sponsorship packet together and, just, there we go.
Did you bring in like sample fireworks or anything like that?
I think I
Thank
think
you.
that.
Did you get one? Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. As long as I know it's in the legal, if it's in the legal
So the last 2 years, the FEDC has been coming in with our presenting sponsor for the fireworks. This year, we're asking to come in again for our 3rd annual event. We're actually making it a 2-day weekend, 2-day event. We're looking to do a carnival, add some extra stuff, add extra days, bring people into Floresville to actually stay here and, see what we have to offer and everything else like that. So we want to keep going. As a sponsor, what I did was I put a sponsorship packet on the 2nd page, and it'd actually be the first one on top. That would be our title sponsor. To be, if you look at the flyer, we have Floresville Economic Development Corporation as the main title sponsor. Everything that would be in there, we incorporate inside our event. This year, we would like to do a little different. When we do our fireworks, we would like to make something where, I know last year, we didn't really have something that said it was from FEDC, the firework display when we did it. So this year, we want to make sure it's incorporated in there where we let EDC get the recognition for what they sponsored for it.
It wasn't you last year that came, it was the other guy, I don't remember his name. Huh?
Rivera.
Tony, yeah.
Rivera.
I didn't like this last year, and I don't like it this year. I mean, it's a nice event for those who show up, but I noticed that from the first year to the second year, attendance declined somewhat. I don't know how much, but I could just visibly tell. And I've heard of Bart Crow, but I couldn't name a song he sings or any of these other people, and I've heard of David Farias or however he's at.
But yes.
Yeah, well,
Farias.
I just think, for the amount of money that's being spent, if you have an $8,000 sponsor and $5,000 and $3,000 and we're at $10,000, I don't see where all the money went.
So last year, we didn't get as much sponsors. I think we came around like 16,000 was the sponsorship. The numbers came in right about the same as the first year. It was right about the same as the first year. This year, we decided to do something different, go 2 days. Bring 2 different entertainments, bring a carnival this year. Try to make it,
How much does a carnival cost to bring?
The carnival, well, they do a percentage with us. So we do a deposit, and they give a percentage back to us. So they'll do a 15% deposit for the
And
first
where's,
year.
on our parking lot?
We're gonna do it in the back parking lot.
Under football field,
Yeah, closer to
Did
the.
it just have the expensive turf painted on it?
on the one that, on phase 2, because, the parking lot has, the park has 2 football fields, we're doing the football field that's in phase 2. Because it's
And it won't be on the football field, it's gonna be on that back parking lot. where
Where
they
the
just.
big rocks are in the
Yes,
parking lot.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be there. It's all gonna be on there. It's not gonna be on the actual football field. So we're gonna do it a little different. All the entertainment will be inside. We'll have vendors, food vendors outside. We'll have a car show outside, and of course the carnival outside as well.
The question I keep getting asked is why is it not on the Fourth of July? It's hard to get someone to come to shoot fireworks off on the Fourth of July. You can imagine that's their largest day of events. And so $10,000 is actually a small amount. And so this time we're not competing with San Antonio or anything in reference to that. So you can come have the fireworks the last weekend in June. And if you want to go to San Antonio and see the fireworks, you're good to go.
Yeah, so the Fourth of July, they have bigger companies that already have contracts with them. So they couldn't get us a guaranteed date on the Fourth of July.
All right, last year, Tony told us that we were paying for the fireworks, $8,000 worth. Is that, I mean, okay, so it's the same gig as last year, $8,000 worth of fireworks, or 10,000, well, he wanted 10, we gave him 8. That's a lot of money just for fireworks. I mean, that was his whole thing, was we need somebody to pay for the fireworks, and I mean, all that stuff that's listed, I mean, I don't know, I just, for $10,000 this year, I mean, I know last year the city paid him $4,000 or $5,000 just to put on the event,
Yeah, so we are
well,
in the
we
same
did,
budget.
whoever did, it was wrong, it shouldn't have happened, but the money went out the door anyway, and, I just think it's a bad deal for us. We've played this game 2 years in a row, it hadn't brought a business here, it hadn't done anything here, and, I'm gonna vote against it either way, I don't care, I mean,
We're looking for it to grow. That's why we made it a 2-day event. We wanted people to actually stay here in Floresville and actually spend their time here and, actually see Floresville. So we did one day, we tried it for the last 2 years. We're trying to make it 2-day, try to make it grow bigger and bigger, almost, as Peter Festival. Make it more events out here for Floresville to have to make our city better.
You mentioned a free carnival.
Oh, yeah, so the carnival, we are making the carnival free once you get into the grounds. So you pay to get in, the carnival is gonna be free Friday and Saturday. The reason why is because we got a lot of calls asking why don't we make our event free like Pin Festival does. So we try to do something a little different to keep people entertained that wanna come out here.
you just said that we would get a percentage back from the carnival.
So
but
Thursday.
The carnival's free.
So they're coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they're gonna come Sunday. So they're gonna give us a percentage on the days they charge. Out of the days they charge, they're gonna give us a percentage.
Okay.
Chaz, what do you think, maybe we'll give Scott some clarity, what do you think the out-of-pocket expense is on the actual fireworks?
On the total
I
price
realize
of the
this whole thing
fireworks,
takes more money to run, but just the product, the fireworks, what do you think you're?
what they charged us,
Well,
we're just
what
asking
you can go
you-
buy them for,
what we go buy them
what
for.
men can go buy them for, anyway.
I mean, how much it costs them, because that was my thing. Last year, I know there's an event
Well, it is
down
true.
by Poth where they put on a big
You can't
fireworks
do
display
I gotta
for
watch it, that's why I
$2,400.
was trying to-
And they were asking, y'all were the city or 4A was asking for
Well,
$10,000.
so the labor fee,
$2,400?
Yes, but it's down there, they have like a 15 or 20-minute firework display.
Insurance alone costs you more than that.
Well,
I think
they
they just go buy those big old things and do it themselves. That's totally different to where you have on city property, you gotta pay $1 million insurance policy. You go and get somebody, you can't take the chance of just buying a firework.
But the question was, how much does the fireworks cost?
The fireworks, the fireworks that we're gonna get is gonna be costly, they're gonna be around. I think the invoice that he gave me, the only money they're making is about $1,500 off the labor. So
But what's the
everything
total?
else, the whole total is $8,000 in total. So it's $8,000 in total, because they're a professional company that comes out and does the firework.
How long is the fireworks show?
Last year was 12 minutes long, straight, 12 minutes, all fireworks. And if you came last year,
Did you
it
see
was.
it last year?
Yes,
Did you like
I
it?
wasn't impressed.
And you're changing the layout of it, right? Correct. Yes, all the So you can layout, see- everything's
You can
changing.
see,
So you have the layout on here?
Oh,
So at the end,
I mean, I have a layout, I have the actual run of the event, how it's gonna run. So the last page has the whole run of the event from when everything's starting to everything ends. This year, we wanna make the fireworks the last thing to end the night. I know last year we kinda did it a little early and everybody left, so we wanna make the fireworks, the last thing on the agenda on Saturday to end the night.
Yeah, and the uniqueness thing about fireworks is that the other portion is supplemented by hotel motel tax to pay, and hopefully we can recoup some of the expense. However, hotel motel tax is very adamant that you cannot use hotel motel tax for fireworks.
Well, I understand that, but
You don't have much more flexibility as for the EDC. It's promotional, that's it.
I agree with that.
That's a promotional budget, pretty much,
agree
to
with
bring
that.
sales taxes into the city, but otherwise, it's very limited for the EDC as well.
yeah, I mean, I don't see this event bringing $8,000 in sales tax to
This
Floresville
would be a
that
promotional.
weekend.
It has to come out of the promotion budget. There's a limit on how much you can spend annually promotional.
What is our promotional budget, 30,000?
Yeah,
How much have we spent?
but 10% of our annual will be about $7,800, or $1,000.
But what's in our budget is 30,000.
Right.
But I mean, I think that goes back to what Ray said earlier, Scott, we have to spend money on promoting our city because we get that money in every time you fill up gas or you buy something at Bill Miller. So we're not making a valiant effort to promote our city and in the promotional side, that's all we budget for. And to date, we spent,
About, I think we have about a $2,300 or $22,000 balance, so.
we only spent $7 grand and we're halfway through the year. So I think we set that to try to spend it every year, not to save it. So if this is one big event that, I mean, I've seen it all over and I don't know if they're gonna get a billboard like they did in the past. I know we used to do that.
We do have a billboard over
So there's some billboards and things. I think if you look at it, not from the fireworks side, but from the promotional side, it's gonna go, and then it'll go on the Wilson app too.
Everything you do is not gonna make money.
Yeah, and that's what we gotta realize, that we're not, like I said, we're not doing it to promote to make money, we're just doing it to promote our accounts.
You know, the thing with these events, they have to be consistent. They'll only work if we do it year after year. You know, we can't have, we're gonna cancel it and not have it this year. It has to be consistent. And if you remember when we started this, 10 years ago, when we were at the city park, the first event we had, there was, 10, 15,000 people in the, at the first time there was cars lined up on all 97 to see the fireworks. So if we could just keep on promoting that Floresville is a place to visit, I think it'll happen.
Well, it's just a place to visit, but then you don't have to go nowhere.
Right, even for our
And how
locals,
much is
exactly.
it gonna cost them to get in?
$10.
$10.
And children under 12 are free, right?
Yes, so we're not doing ticket sales, everything's gonna be at the box office, we're gonna buy, we're gonna enter there, so everything will be
And look at
done.
it, you're gonna have a,
Yeah, free
I
concerts.
think all they did was a washer tournament, now they're gonna do volleyball, well, volleyball there, but softball's new,
For $10, you get the concerts and you get the carnival.
It was inside, a little small, but still, I mean, if you looked at what the lights were this last week, it rained the day before, and they still brought out 60 cars.
Yeah, so we're looking to bring in a modern car show ballpark. They're Dodge, they have the Challengers, everything like that. So they're a pretty modern car club that wants to come in and, something different.
And they have like lights on them, right?
Yeah, they're lit up.
So if the thing goes at night.
Some of them are themes like the Avengers, stuff like that, for people to entertain and actually see and look at.
One of the entertainers up on Friday night, he was also in the New Year's Eve celebration at San Antonio, right before Pat Benatar came on.
Who?
Little Joe.
Okay.
He's always
Looks
one
like
of the,
George Lopez.
and he's always one of the biggest acts at Fiesta. So we should draw a pretty good crowd with him.
Yeah, the lineup we have is a lot different from last year. I think we're gonna bring a lot more people with these entertainers that are coming in, actually.
Danny, you didn't call George Strait?
I did, but he didn't answer.
I mean, I don't have as big a problem this year because we didn't do the Mayfest. But, I mean, we got hit last year with the Mayfest and this, and
And that's why we took away Mayfest. We wanted to really focus on this event to make it a 2-day and make it successful.
You know, I agree with Danny, if you're gonna have something, you can't pick and choose, we'll have it this year, we'll have it next year, we'll have it this year, next year. If you're gonna be consistent, people are gonna plan ahead, consistently come. If you're gonna try to promote with this type of activities, you gotta do it every year, not just.
And from
every
last
once
year
in
to
a
this year, it's growing. I mean, we got an extra 15 vendors. We have more calling. So if we have enough room, we're gonna try to get as many vendors as we can to come out here. The car show, they're bringing family with them. They're a family-oriented car club, so they say they come out here and stay and bring their family with them.
When your vendors, they're gonna pay, you're gonna get a percentage, or they're?
Yes,
gonna pay-
we're charging a fee for the rental space for their booth.
So the city has, or got a place to recoup something there?
Yes.
Right.
We have to establish that niche says, okay, what are we doing during the Fourth of July, or what are we doing during Christmas? Well, remember last year, we were at that event in Floresville. And this particular event, it caters to everyone, people who like country music, people who like rock, Tejano music, and then the families with children, $10 to get in, and all the rides are free.
Yeah,
You cannot beat that.
that's.
And then we'll have a kids zone in the gym like we did last year for the smaller ones. When it gets hot, we did that as well. We had a kids zone inside the gym. People are coming off and cool off and then, stay out here and enjoy the rest of the event.
Anyone have any more questions for Chad?
So what time does it start each day?
My goodness, lady, where have you been?
No, like, I'm looking on here.
There's a, on the last page,
On Friday, it's
6 to
at
midnight.
6.
but on the last page,
That's the carnival.
but on the last page,
Does
I
that
gave
mean
you
the whole
a,
event
oh,
starts
yeah,
at
no,
that
you
time?
actually put-
there's a lineup of the page. On one of the sheets I gave you, there's a lineup.
No,
This
but on
starts
this, if you're
from
gonna use this as your advertisement.
12 o'clock.
You can just
The
start.
gates open at
But
12.
the Star has carnival, like, those times are under carnival, so does that mean that's when the carnival opens, or is that when the whole event opens?
The whole event starts at noon.
Okay.
The doors open at noon. and
Then
then
say that on there,
We're gonna put the lineup that I gave you. We're gonna post that as well as for the Facebook page, to let people know.
Yeah.
I think,
I'm just saying if this
I
is
think
your-
some more clarity would help as
your-
far as opening time, like what you
Yeah,
said.
because to me, that says that's when the carnival opens up, but if the event opens up before
We
that,
actually would percent on the app, right?
yes. That would be.
Gotta make a whole new flyer.
I said, scrap this
Better see if the carnival ride will ride.
one. I will be on the line.
See you on the Ferris wheel way.
I am.
Anyway, Boy, you have to, pues, todo gratis, vamos.
There better be all that there too.
Okay, anybody else want to, any comments, or anything else you want to ask, John? Anybody want to make a motion? I can't vote, so I can't help.
Can I vote?
Why
Twice.
can't you vote?
Make a motion.
How much of your motion?
He's confirming we have a,
Can I vote?
if he's on two boards, he's on the story board.
You get the stage, no?
I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to vote.
There you go, yeah.
You always vote twice at City Hall.
Early on
What's
Sunday.
it different?
Oh, come on.
Hey, but he checked. He checked.
Well, that means you can't vote on any item then.
Can I get a
Vote
Ellen
one part or
docket?
the other one.
Well, in that case, I'll make the motion to approve the sponsorship level of what?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay.
Where's the 10,000 Mountain Street on?
It's at the top of
It's
the
at
page,
the
Fred.
top. Yeah, it doesn't have an amount though, that's one thing.
That does right here.
No.
Are y'all neighbors or something?
He's looking on
He
me.
You're in the
said-
same water?
He said on the agenda.
On the agenda,
Oh.
it doesn't have an amount.
It's on the third page.
He's looking on me.
She moved in second.
It's not supposed to be on the agenda.
Oh. It's not supposed to be on there, she said.
It's on the,
Proposal.
On the proposal. We have a motion by Danny, do we have a second?
What is the amount of the motion?
10,000.
To do the title sponsorship of fireworks for tax.
And a second by Melissa. All those in favor?
Y'all better prove me wrong.
All opposed?
Got it.
You know, Scott, I want to thank you. I've never, and since we've been here, Fred, we've never had, not have a full margin. Scott didn't run it. JT, motion passes.
Hey, you got big shoes to fill, Chuck.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Not Chuck.
This better be a really great deal.
You better.
Very well. Discussion item number 11 and possible action. Discussion and possible action to approve a resolution approving a performance agreement by the FEDC for a lease agreement and other incentives for a proposed new commercial development project for the Children's Bereavement of South Texas, Inc. Also discussion and possible action item to approve bereavement center's application for a signage grant in the amount of $17,002.83. Exhibit item number 11.
So we're only paying our 7,500 of
Yeah.
that.
Right, we got two things to vote on, and the first is just the approval for a resolution that our attorney has said we need to file, and the mayor signed for that, and the city secretary.
So that's what we were trying
So
to.
we should do item number 12 before we do item number 11.
I just put them in order as they were here.
There's,
I mean-
item number 12 is the
Probably
health
approve
and
that.
dental clinic. We have two resolutions.
Oh, okay.
So 11 is the Children's Bereavement Center, and 12 is.
How close are we to get the property agreement done in the back?
What's that?
So I'll explain. This resolution is every time you've got to do a project, which we're incentivizing with the project.
That's what we did earlier.
For a lease,
Okay.
right? We do the resolution,
Yeah.
and it has to go to council. That resolution includes a performance agreement, which is required under
Okay.
the, when you're an outside entity,
Mhm.
and for the EDC, we have an agreement. We have a performance agreement,
Okay.
which they're gonna have to tell us how many jobs they're gonna bring and how much money they're gonna invest into the community and, to the business community. And then, that also has a lease agreement for the weird little
And a
piece
copy of our deed
of the
restrictions.
lot and the deed restrictions, and all
And-
those documents go with this resolution
Okay.
for council to
And we
approve
have
as
the
well.
documents to sign and give to Bert to take a look at.
Okay.
So legally, it requires a performance agreement, it requires the resolution, but then the performance agreement, and then the lease agreement is
Okay.
part of the performance agreement that everybody is agreeing with. And the terms of the lease for the $1 a year or 10 years.
And Bert, you might just let the board know that the 30 feet that we talked about consistently is okay with your playground design and so forth.
We're most appreciative, Tom. It will very much accommodate our additional space. We have 15 feet already behind our building, which is too restrictive. The additional 30 will give us 45, and that will be a very generous gift to give us that expansion. And I do like to point out that, yes, it's, you can call it a playground, you can call it for recreation. It is a critical part of children's therapy. When you have a loss by death, especially by violence, there's many emotions. One of those may be anger. And the ability to de-escalate, if you will, with a supervision in a playground environment is very beneficial. But 30 feet is a very generous offer or consideration, and we would be elated.
Well, let's go back to the sign, I guess. I got us off task, I apologize. So this is gonna have, an outside sign and a sign on the door, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I apologize, I do want to amend that already. It does have sales tax in there, which would negate, but you'll see what the cost is $15,707. And it was pointed out, our application is for half. I will say that we're also working on a consideration of that bid.
And that's kind of what we didn't get put in here was future projects, so we have like, so we know what we have to spend. How much are we spend on that budget? I think we're gonna spend $400, right?
I'm sorry,
How
what?
much have we spent out of the matching grant? How much we have left?
Oh, for signage?
Anything, except from the building?
Well, we actually have a line item for
Okay.
signage grant
Okay.
of 30,000 a year, and we've.
Well, signage and other things, right? Or just signage?
Just signage.
Okay.
And so,
What have we spent today?
when we get through with the one, there's about $5,000, so we've got, you know,